Hello everyone. Um, Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about love, and this forms part of September on Patreon of the healing journey. And September is the month of love on this healing journey that we've been doing this year. And when I set up the structure last year for the different themes and every month what we will cover, obviously this whole situation that we're in the world, everything was still normal, right? Things haven't evolved like they have at this moment in time. So I've been really struggling with this theme of love for September. So much so that I've actually been blocked. I really have been unable to prepare this month's for this month, um, because it's like, when you look around you at the moment, all I see is unhappiness, pain, anger, discontent, rioting, fires. It feels like there's just so much uncertainty, maybe so much pain, suffering, that for me to talk about love feels a little bit, what is the word? Woo woo, not understanding, right? I don't know what the right word is in English for that, but it just didn't feel right for me. And then I thought, well, maybe it is the right time now. Maybe this is the exact right time to talk about love. Maybe in this time when things are so complicated and chaotic and uncertain and painful and angry and all these things, maybe this is when we should open up our hearts and look a little bit deeper inside ourselves. And when I say love, I'm not necessarily talking about romantic love. That too, because, romantic love is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when somebody loves you and you love somebody, and, your world just lightens up, So maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need some romance in our lives. Maybe we need some romance in romancing ourselves and not necessarily somebody else. Who knows? Maybe that's what we need. We need to open our hearts and find that place inside of us where love lies. Stop with the head. We're too much in our heads at this moment. There's so much worry, there's so much lack, not enough. We concern we might lose our job, we might lose our life. These are serious, heavy concerns. We're losing our freedom. These things are fundamental things. So there is, in my mind, it is completely understandable that the world is in such chaos, because these issues we are dealing with are some serious life issues. And it's like, how do we get through that? How do we get to the other side of that? It's like this huge mountain in front of us, or this river that's just coming down non-stopping, and we need to get to the other side. And how are we going to do that? Right? How are we? And I don't know. I have no answers to these things. It's just questions and more questions, right? And I've started to go back to books that I've read decades ago, maybe even 2 decades ago, some of them. And they all on the Buddhist principles, and they talk about how life is. They really investigate life, and they encourage us to look at life. And what is life really? It is suffering, right? It's what we experience now. That is part of life. And maybe we need to take a closer look at that suffering that we're experiencing right now and not fight it so much. Maybe the suffering is something that we need to embrace, that uncertainty, that pain, that loneliness, the anger. Maybe we need to just seriously go into it and embrace it and feel it, feel it. Feel that anger. Feel the pain. Where is it? Where is it in my body? Where am I feeling this pain? What is the reason behind me feeling this pain? Go question yourself. Question this anxiety, this fear. Where is this coming from? Why am I so afraid? So if the worst thing happens, say I lose my life, is that the worst thing that can happen? Okay. I mean, that's pretty disastrous, right? Losing your life. But what's going on right now? I'm still alive. I'm still healthy. So why am I so worried about losing my life? Because I can cross the street and a truck can hit me and I can lose my life, right? I can suddenly get cancer and I can not get enough proper treatment and I can lose my life. So what makes this virus so different? Why is it that I'm so afraid? And I think if we can find the answers for ourselves, our own answers, not look out there and in the news or on somebody's website or social media, if we don't try not to find the answers there, but we start to look in our own souls, we start to look for ourselves. What is the answer to these questions for me personally? What does that mean for me? What is the result for me? What is the fear for me? And how can I personally overcome it? Not overcome it with answers from other people, but overcome it for myself. And if we look inside and we start to open up that door that we might be trying to keep closed, because fear is a funny thing. It keeps things closed. It keeps things tight. It keeps things like, you go in like this, right? But when you start loosening, when you start opening that door, it starts to open up. And what that means is your heart starts to open up. And it might be scary and it might be painful. But once your heart starts to open up, that means that love will get a chance to come out of you and grow inside of you. And it's not just, we talk about when we do self-care and self-love, that we do nice things for ourselves and we spoil ourselves. And yes, that's part of it. But I think self-love is way deeper than that. When we go into love, it's like that opening up that door and just learning to accept and to ask the questions and learning to accept the answers, accept who we are, the good things and the bad things, the things we are proud of and the things that we feel, wow, did I really do such a horrible thing? Learn to accept those things and forgive ourselves for those things. So I think for myself, when I think of love, I think especially in this situation that we are in, I think of acceptance and I think of meditation and I think of questioning. Those things are the things that's going to help me and maybe you as well to find how I can get back to my safe space, my space where I feel compassion, my space where I feel free, my space where I feel love, you know. So yeah, I think that we are having a difficult time as humans, and I think the as soon as we turn anything on, things look really like there's no hope sometimes. But I think if we go quiet, we sit down for a bit. You don't have to do a formal meditation in the traditional sense. You just need to sit down with yourself in the quiet where you won't be disturbed and start thinking about, or start feeling. Yeah, I'm thinking, right? Start feeling the things that you feel and ask yourself, why do I really feel these things? Where do they come from? And sometimes when we start asking those questions, we find that so much is just fear. And when we face it, when we ask the questions, when we're willing to look at the answers honestly and openly, the fear starts to dissolve, and our inside, our space can start to open for ourselves. And that's when love can start to come in. So my wish for you is that you will find a way to ask the questions for yourself. You will find the answers inside of yourself, and that you will find joy and love in your life. Blessings to you, and thanks for listening.